drinks. I was hoping they were done with that. Sounds like it's Civil War. Also, it's hard to think with all that going on. Also, all right, do the best we can here. So this is a Akashic record, Akashic dragon record. Let's see where that goes. Of course, you have interference from outside. Tibet, Arcturian energies, and Dalai Lama. So I haven't done really the Dalai Lama or anything that. As I was looking into it, I mean, I know about it. I didn't realize it was in India. I don't pay attention that much to it. But I mean, a lot of people get his advice. Some of it's not correct. Then again, whose advice is ever not correct? I do feel like he does connect to China. I guess China doesn't like him, but somebody in China is connecting to him. So I guess he's not welcome. He's not welcome back to Tibet. Some kind of communist. I mean, I guess the Dalai Lama was 5 years old, became the Dalai Lama. It's like a reincarnation of some kind of deity. But the Dalai Lama, I'm kind of going backwards here, but the Dalai Lama, I mean, if you want to see what an alien looks like, you can look, yeah, it's very Arcturian. Doesn't have to worry about normally the daily problems in life. I don't think he has a job. So it's connected more to spiritualism. If you agree with him or not, doesn't either way. You're gonna get that anywhere, but at least it gives you an idea of what like a humanoid alien would look like and act. And it doesn't mean you have to watch it for hours, but it's one indication of what that might look like. Just putting that out there. Of course, there's probably others, Jim Carrey also, and whatever. But Dalai Lama is pretty fascinating, at least on the spiritual level. Is pretty fascinating. This is the first time I've really kind of looked into it. I mean, I know about him, but never really looked into the history. Even Tibet, never really looked into that either. So, just felt like it. This is the 4th of July. I guess British are not too pleased with all this, but of course, most Americans don't know what 4th of July is. So, we got it all. We got it together here, as you can see. So, all right, I'll go into a quick update. And we'll go into the unknown. So I've taught a comment prep sessions. I have a shop here. I'm on the 22nd, something like that. It's hard to answer questions, all this noise in the background. If I do a healing for somebody and you hear all that noise, a big bang and all that, so anyways, same situation here. We have webinar. We have social network, the rabbit, have an update there, behind the scenes, and dating site. So, all right. Okay. Okay. So I was going to go into the Akashic Dragon energy. Let's just go into that first. Because I have a little bit that's not in the title. I forgot to put in the title. So let's see. We're just connected to the Akashic record energy in general. If dragon energy comes through, it felt like bringing in a dragon vibration. Of course, it's kind of connected to China. I guess this whole thing is kind of connected to China, technically, in some form or another. Let's see. Dragon energy is translucent energies, is ones that know how to learn lessons or to bring about lessons, the ones to keep a world going. So yes, there are dragon beings, or of course are the protectors of the earth. More than you might think so. You might think the aliens are protecting, which they are, but a lot of it comes down to the dragon energies, which makes sense. And these are massive dragons. Of course, go by what you feel on all that, but just putting that out there. So of course there's small dragons, there's medium-sized dragons, there's like big dragons, like Lord of the Rings dragons, or something you see in Game of Thrones. But I believe these dragons, the ones I connect to, are ones that, they can think for themselves. They have personalities to think for themselves. They don't need somebody telling them what to do, where to fly, what to do this. I imagine there are a lot of them that are like that, but the major ones are the ones that have a consciousness and are guardians of the planet. And of course, they're in Gartha in different realms. And that's another thing as we go into a shifting vibration. Of course, the higher frequencies are here, but accessing it, I mean, you can individually, but the human collective is still going through its stuff, which is what I understood. But individually, yeah, you can go as high as you want to go. 24th dimension, 36th dimension, 100,000th dimension, wherever you want to go. The dragon vibrations is basically a healing energy also for the soul. It goes to the chakras, clears out the vibrations, but does not clear everything, especially if you have to go clear out a past life that has not been, like my background music. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. You think I was like living by downtown? I'm near it, but not that near it. Anyway, it was actually a lot hotter earlier. Sorry. So they can't remove past life energies. You have to go through it. You have to figure it out. Especially they can't tell you what you're figuring out. I mean, they can give you kind of hints, but they assist your spirit guides of, they can also help you with turning points in your life. Dragons can be spirit guides, of course. This is nothing new. But yeah, the past life. So if you have like several past lives you have not resolved in other lifetimes, you have them living within yourself. Why you connect to that person, why you live where you live, why you work where you work. And it doesn't mean it's going to make itself too clear, but it might. Maybe not of the lesson, but you might tap into just either way it's there. You might be able to tap into the vibration of that lifetime, possibly. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it all depends on where you're at. Not always necessarily meant. I think I'm living in the ghetto or something. Jeez. Sorry. This is going to be a rough one. Unless I have soundproof. If I had that, it'd be too hot here. Anyway, one of these days I'm gonna get out of this place. I've not seen enough apparently. Yeah, so the fireworks brigade is outside. Yeah, it's like 11:30 and 4th of July is still going on. Maybe until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it'll end. Anyway, sorry about that. I was gonna say fireworks energy. With the dragon energies, they're not there to remove timelines, but they assist, but they're always in the background, of course. The past lives that you're going to go through, there's like 3 or 4 of them. I mean, sometimes there might be 6 or 7, but normally it's 3 or 4 you have to get through. I mean, that's a lot right there, actually. Especially it's relationship energy. Like if you clear one lifetime, another one might come through. Like if you clear these other lifetime karmas, another one might come through that you can clear out, move somewhere, whatever it is. The Akashic record energy here. Of course, it's to access that is water, is oceans. It doesn't mean you have to be by an ocean, but water is a good energy to have around you to connect to Akashic. I know it sounds a little bit strange for some, but so it's like very fluid. This is probably not a new concept. Of course, when I connect to the Akashic here, of course, I feel dinosaurs. And of course, the dinosaurs are in different dimensions, realms that are giving us information of just not to let go of ourselves, not give up. Of course, we're not going to give up, but it doesn't mean, yeah, there'll be times as we shift into higher frequencies, we have to get over a lot of this earth stuff right now. Of course, that's easier said than done. A lot of like, where's my job? Where's my income? All of those are very important things, of course, but when we kind of move away from a lot of that, of course, that's not the easiest thing to move away from. Um, we'll start to see other realms here, such as a dinosaur realm. I mean, you might know a business and you feel a dinosaur being, you might even see one. Of course, you'll see many things, but as we let go of the stress of the third dimension, obviously, it's not the easiest thing right now. I mean, yeah, I mean, even, no matter who you are, it's kind of difficult at this time. But that's what we're heading into. I mean, of course, you have like make a living and family stuff, understand, but all the other stuff like politics and you know maybe talking about your favorite recipe or something, that's a little bit better of a vibration. Just the politics vibrations are is necessary, but doesn't have to be so weaponized. Or you recognize it, but you don't let it affect you, and you connect more to yourself. And you just allow this propaganda, basically the propaganda timelines I mentioned yesterday, is where it's not so powerful anymore. So we can go into other problems, like multidimensional problems. When you see aliens and their difficulties, reptilians that feel like they're a ruler over us and stuff like that. Looking forward to that. Ever alien contact and just like you humans don't know what they're doing and all that. That'd be fascinating. Start saying that one day. You never know. Anything's possible. Basically, see it through through your third eye, through your senses. Some people are already going through it, but that's when more people have started to connect to it automatically. Obviously, we're not ready for it to a certain extent because there's several wars going on that we're not fully aware of, which is a war within the home, but there's other things that we're not here to know for various reasons. It just makes I guess if we know too much about the secret space program, but there's other things here that are going on that I don't know what it is, but if we know, it might make things like we won't focus on our own lives. We focus on that instead, whatever that is, whatever this other war is. I mean, probably some people feel it. There's something going on. Always, ever since we got here. So Tibet energy has Arcturian. There's also reptilian there. There's Zeta there. Of course, it's been invaded a couple of times or several times. At least in our modern history, during the communist rule, that's why they kicked out the Dalai Lama. That's why he's in India right now. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess they don't want the Dalai Lama's point of view or whatever it is. They just don't want that. Yeah, China's complicated. Oh, even China's not the either way. We'll go into Tibetan vibration. So Tibet does go into high frequency layers, and there is like a Illuminati energy there. That's pretty obvious. The higher frequencies in ninth dimension, 10th dimension. It does help. It has a healing factor with it. Now, when you connect to the politics of it, it's probably not the best vibration, but I mean, it's the universe. It's going to have a little bit. It's going to have positives, it's going to have darkness, it's going to have this, it's going to have that, it's going to have everything. So if you go to Tibet and get like energy attack, don't be surprised. But you can clear that out and connect to the stars, the cosmos, depending on who you are. I mean, think about it. If you don't have no stress from life, you don't have to worry about work, you don't have to worry about anything. You just go there, relax, and connect, and not, and just let go of daily life. Yeah, that's where your real astral projection energy really starts. I mean, I don't know the whole story about Tibet, but that's what, how many people are doing that or what. But yeah, I mean, I believe it's in the Himalayas. I'm going to just guess on that. I think it is. It feels like it is. Of course, even the mountains have a lot of dragon energies within the mountains over there. Um, it feels like that's where was it Shambhala? Some of that's there. Of course, that's part of the Middle Earth, the Inner Earth, Shambhala, which I haven't really gone into that much, but can't go into everything. It does seem like it has a lot of Shambhala and a lot of magic energies. So we have sorcerers, magicians. Definitely back in the olden days, in the ancient times, definitely even modern time, if it was kept secret or I don't know, I don't have any evidence of any of that, but I think I've seen it online somewhere where people are doing magic, making things appear and disappear. I haven't seen much of that recently. Uh, but yeah, it feels like a lot of Shambhala energies in Tibet. At least that's the vibration I'm getting. You can go by what you feel on that, but and it's a healing factor. Basically, it can keep you young for a very long time. Now, even Dalai Lama is like 85, but it looks pretty good for 85. Of course, it looks like an alien. It's like an alien hybrid, honestly. Um, so the Dalai Lama is here to clear out chakras. It's kind of like an alien diplomat, you can say. Maybe an unofficial one, but it's kind of like a diplomat. I don't think it connects to China that much. I know they have a bunch of stuff going on there because they're trying to rule the world, something like that. So there's a lot. Yeah, China is blocked, just like the whole cloning information. China has a lot of blockages for obvious reasons. Of course, China has a lot of healing factor connected to it also. And it has a lot of fourth and fifth dimension. There's the other thing I was going to go into yesterday, and I forgot that when our now you can put this up in the air. Um, so you have alien beings in the higher dimensions that don't remember. They forget stuff, forget emotions, they forget empathy, whatever. They forget just a lot of stuff. So our world is being conceived right of all the stuff that the aliens forgot. It just helps. It's like a grounding planet. It just like little things here and there, just to help the higher dimensions function a little bit better. In higher dimensions, depending on where you are, you could probably destroy a planet with your mind, and you keep doing that and stuff like sorcery and all that kind of stuff, magic, and it just gets kind of out of hand. So our world created as a grounding energy. So I'm gonna go like some of the beings that will help us become physical. I feel has a lot to do with Asia, China, um, has that because they have Asian worlds a lot of places. Sirius is one of them. It's all over the place. Um, this is my feeling on it. They have Asian worlds that are physical, but not like this place. Not. I mean, imagine there are places there. There's always somewhere worse, but anyway, I'm not connecting to that. But just physical worlds where they have these little details, emotions and physicality and whatever, just table manners, whatever that we're here to, and they have those things. Doesn't mean they're learning all of them, but they have what the higher dimensions forgot. And you can say that's an Arcturian connection there. You can look at it however you want, but there are worlds that have elements of physicality, and then they plug into our world through sexuality. For this, usually it's just through sexual relations. Usually, go by what you feel once again. And that's one way to get your offspring here. But it feels like China, it feels like China actually, to be honest with you. It feels like Asia, but China played a big role in why we are physical today. Doesn't mean we're all Asian, but maybe we are in some form or another. It's lessons from the universe that we need to learn. You can say some of it comes from Orion, it comes from different places. But there are also alien races that I picked up on a while back that are no longer in existence. But they gave what little they had or was still important to our race before they died out. So we're like a next generation of them, wherever they are. And so, I feel like it was all positive, whoever it was. Who knows? It's not making itself completely clear. Yeah, some things are just not going to be clear. Let's see. So we're going into a, I don't know, I feel like an age of Aquarius. I'm not sure if that's in the astrology right now, but it feels like we have Aquarius energies going on at this moment. Maybe it's from the unofficial astrology out there. Feels like Age of Aquarius. Another thing, I'll put this out there once again and keep it open mind. Like before Atlantis, I do feel like I mentioned this before. It feels like I still feel like a monkey or a gorilla influence planet here. Gorilla beings, different, yeah. And they did have humans. How they treat those humans is another story. They might have elephant beings there too. It's a possibility. This is before all the. It's like the world got kind of like terraformed after that. I mean, it feels like, yeah. I'm just gonna put this out. Everybody has their own little version of before Earth, but so I'll just put my little 2 cents in there. Because normally I get blocked from that, but recently it's been slowly showing itself here and there. Like ape people that did like from Mars, you can say had a Martian influence, and they just destroyed themselves. So I would say the Earth got terraformed. At least the vibe I get from it. It was terraformed in some way. So, or just flooded, or they just flooded the planet, or something like that. Either way, I'm just putting it out there. Take it as you will. Or it just, I just get this. I mean, it makes. I mean, so if you have ape people, gorilla people in the beginning, and then you have like humans kind of treated like slaves or whatever. And gorillas can be kind of, I mean, a gorilla society. I mean, not just a primitive society, actually an advanced society to some degree. But they can be pretty aggressive. Of course, any animal being can be aggressive. But it feels like if we get our aggressiveness from them, at least that's the vibe I get. But I'm not getting 100%. I mean, it feels like it was here at one time before all of this occurred, before the Neanderthals and so forth. So, like I said, we had to go through kind of a reset, but once again, everybody has their own version of it. So, just putting my 2 cents out there and see how it goes there. Yeah, something just blew up. Yeah, see, I was going to try and do a healing, and you hear something blow up. It's like, that's not healing. So, um, see, so Tibet energies was necessary for us to just kind of see in a physical level. There are other places around the world, but Tibet is a good place for tapping into higher frequency energies. Um, it just, it's just like you can see it. It's like it gives people. It doesn't mean everybody has to travel there, but just connected to the vibrations of it. It's like, yeah, the higher astral, the higher realms does exist. Of course, you can go to other mountains like Mount Shasta, Mount Adams, and wherever. Yeah, there's plenty of other places. But Tibet at least has a spiritual connection to it, where most places have been pretty much wiped out for the most part. Not many places are out in the up in the mountains that are hard to get to, and that's at least a vibration you can tap into for your own healing. There's a lot of reptilian energies there. They're let's see, yeah, they're kind of protecting us. There's always reptilians, of course. Protecting us from ourselves. Like, be careful that we don't get too much information because we can't activate ourselves too much where we can't handle it. And I mean, some people are already having troubles already with what little they know. And if you activate somebody even more, you start to feel like you're going to explode. So, yeah, it's not the easiest vibration, but yeah, it's almost like we're walking around like nuclear bombs in some regard. Well, because you're tapping into a higher frequency, you can't go all the way with it, but but your energy flow is connecting to the Earth's energy for sure. So yeah, the spiritual vibrations. It's kind of like what they show is kind of like shoelaces, like you're tying your shoes. Like the energy flow is just fitting right where it needs to be, which makes sense. So your energy anchors where it needs to be. So like where you're located, you're anchoring where you need to be. Makes perfect sense with that. And if you're in a place you don't like, well, you're anchoring in a place that needs it. And we're all in one of those places, that's for sure. Some of us are, at least, for good reason, especially if you're by a military base. But even some of these military bases, the military is eventually going to implode one of these days when it has nothing else to do. It might send some of it in space, but it's going to eventually die down and break apart. Not yet. We're too early for that just yet, but there will be a time for it. It's like what they're doing with the police. That hasn't fallen apart yet. We don't need that yet. Might be. People want these things fast, but might be like 10 years possibly. That timeline's not completely clear. It might be 10 years before, like the defund police situation. I mean, that's something that's really fragile. We have to like grow up. We have to like not stop killing each other for the defund the police. So we have a ways for that. And 10 years is probably not enough, but it's not likely. But yeah, I mean, let's see, 10 years, 8 years, 10 to 8 years, something like that. It's not going to make itself, yeah. People want their aliens right now. Well, that's why you tap in your own stuff, your own energies. Give yourself something to do, whatever that might be. And tapping into the higher frequencies all the time can drive you crazy, of course. But what I've been feeling recently is like you can tap into another realm, but there's like you can feel the dimension. Like you can turn the page, but the page isn't going to turn. Like you can make things a little bit different here. I mean, obviously you can, and it's on a positive frequency, but really make a change. Like for example, like do we need cars anymore? Okay, that's a major one. That's kind of a major timeline. But when you have to open up dimensions where we can shift realities, that's a little bit heavy right now too. That's not the story of humanity yet. But thinking those type of things, it might drive you crazy if you think about it too much. But I mean, if you're thinking about your own frequency, it is opening up gateways, portals, pretty obvious, right? Especially around water. Water, because water is so flexible, it's easier to open. Other places are easy, so much. Water is easier, just because. And even our world will become more fluid over time, or our world will become more astral. Obviously, when you tap into astral, we're bringing that here. So we're bringing that psychedelic realm here, and that's with Arcturian energies. That's why Arcturians are. I mean, there's other beings, Pleiadians, Syrians, and go on and on with that. Of course, when the world becomes more psychedelic, like more people are getting high on. Oh, wow, that's gonna look. More people are becoming more high. You can say on vibration. That's when the pyramids reactivate. But this time, now there's the dark side of the pyramid, there's the light side of the pyramid. Hopefully, the light side gets activated. But I think if the pyramids are activated in a dark way, I think we're kind of already going through that already. So, I mean, it's not going to. I mean, I don't think it's going to make anything worse. We're already kind of screwed already. So, but yeah, just like our vibration activating pyramids. So we go into another. Eventually, at least the ones in Egypt. Eventually, Egypt is such a. Yeah, it's like the landmark of pyramids. There's pyramids everywhere, but the Egyptian ones are probably the most bizarre. It's like everything's been mowed down for the most part, and those are still there. So, so reactivating those. Some people might have astral connections to the pyramids. Of course, the Tibetan vibration. So Tibet can activate, even change colors. Like what's for Tibet, for example. Like strange weather patterns that they don't normally have. That shows the astral realm is shifting. Timelines are moving in. For example, even around Egypt, that I don't know that's going to be a while down the road. But Tibet is more like it. So Tibet does play a role in our world's activation. At least on a weather. Well, at least on a weather. Well, it's for us to see it in the third dimension is through weather. You can see it through other vibrations, but yeah, it's an entrance into other realms. It's just an obvious one. There's plenty of other places around there like that also, but Tibet's a pretty strong one overall. And it also feels like with Dalai Lama, another reason why he's not in Tibet is because he's hard to access there. So if he's in India, it's easier to access. And besides that, India needs them. India needs a lot of things right now. So it makes sense why he's in India, actually. Yeah, India needs all the help it can get. Yeah, the government's so screwing everybody, reptilian. India has a lot of alien vibrations there, and they're not afraid to hide it apparently either. I mean, it's doesn't mean you have alien beings walking around. It's similar to China in a lot of ways, but it's not an easy place to live for another thing. But yeah, it feels like India and China are very similar in a lot of ways. They're just different animals, but it feels like India is where. I mean, that's another place where aliens can just show up anywhere. It seems. I'm not sure if that's happening, but that's an easy place for more of that to occur easily. Yeah. So yeah, India. You can tap into those energies. Let's see. Um, so the Akashic energies with the dragon, yeah, it's just basically protectors. They're not going to give us too much information. There are clones here, of course, but they can't go into the details of that. It has the Illuminati agenda. It's not very pleasant either, tapping into those clone realities. Of course, you do whatever you want, but it's not pleasant. It is connected to the Men in Black realms. Also, doesn't mean that they're interconnected, but it's kind of the same place, sort of. It's just kind of like a science fiction movie. It's not pleasant. Well, it's just when you have clones, what is that? I mean, come on, it's clones. I mean, how pleasant can that be? If it's already been mentioned here, it's probably exists somewhere. Even if we can't prove it, can't prove a whole lot of anything actually. Well, the alien energies can prove, but they're not. It's not like it's hard. People talk. We had that whole UFO disclosure thing, and it's like, news like, who gives a shit? Well, we said they're not ready, but there'd be more. I don't think they're going to do the alien invasion thing. They're thinking about it, but I could be wrong, but it feels like that's not going to happen. I mean, I believe it was on the table here and there, but I'm not feeling it right now. I feel like they pulled back on it, but I believe they do have like a setup for it, and I believe they have trained for it. I mean, anything's possible. They might pull it out of their pocket one day, but it doesn't sound like it's going to happen anytime soon. Anything's possible. If we have an alien visitation, that would be most likely to be the first one, because the other we have to open ourselves up. That's easier said than done. We have to, deprogram, and that's we have to go through a certain program that we signed up for. So you can't fully let it go just yet. I guess we're all going to live in nature or something like that. Yeah, right. That's not going to happen. Well, because some of us still need to live in the city in certain areas. Well, to deprogram those areas, to deactivate them, in places that nobody wants to live. Yeah, the civil war is going on here. New York City obviously is what's a good word for a cesspool. There's New York is a good place for like all these astral other reality wars that are going on. New York is a perfect place for that. Other dimensions are just, other versions of Earth, other wars that are going on, definitely everywhere. But New York is always a target. Oh, it's like our modern Babylon. Vatican's kind of that. It's kind of like a part. It's like the spiritual side of it. But New York is kind of the financial side. Babylon, Babylon is more of a fourth and fifth dimension reality. For the third dimension, it still feels that China was one of the anchors for our physical growth. So if you don't like being physical, just blame them. Well, they help anchor it in. It's like they incarnated in here. They brought that physicality. Of course, people can say Anunnaki is involved with it or whoever. Doesn't mean Anunnaki Asians that exist. Anything's possible with that, but the China energy was involved with just anchoring us into the physical. Not necessarily to shut us down, but help us learn from the physical realms. How they did that is not making itself too clear at this time. It's not necessarily that important. It's just, so the Arcturian energies. So the Arcturians are always wanting to learn from the physical. They always know well, a lot of beings know but don't want to experience it. But the physical is really the key to soul growth in any form. Doesn't have to be this heavy. It can be lighter. But of course, so this is obviously the extreme. But it's just always going to be a planet somewhere, like kind of like a. This is kind of like Planet X. This is the extreme of soul growth. At least one of them, at least. So we're actually healing Orion uh, through our wars. So we're not really doing the wars so much anymore. There's little skirmishes here and there, but the secret wars have to be healed for us to go into the next level. And maybe some of that might be exposed, possibly like CIA and stuff like that. Even MJ12 might expose themselves, maybe leak documents, possibly. Maybe then they'll just debunk it. But yeah, there might be more leaks, CIA leaks or something like that, possibly. Of course, we had our UFO report; it had nothing. But yeah, I would say espionage, and of course, WikiLeaks is doing stuff like that. So there might be some. Obviously, it's going to happen eventually, but the leaks are showing that it wants to heal. So here, this is what we're doing. It's kind of like a download, right? We're looking for downloads all the time, but you have leaked stuff from the Pentagon or the CIA. Is like, here, this is what we've been doing. Here's our secret wars. There's nothing you can do about it. Or we need to be investigated. It's like confession time. Same thing with the FBI. The FBI is kind of like a Men in Black, technically, like the physical version of it in some form. So it's like it's an arm of the UN. It feels like so. All right. All right. I'll just leave it at that. Hopefully, some of this is helpful in some regards. So, all right. Blessings. Yeah, all this noise and all that. I do the best I can. So, blessings.